Hello, my name is Kaylee Peeker, and I'm going to be talking to you about a few different types of children's book awards. Now, there are several awards that books can be nominated for in different categories and different criteria, but today I'm going to focus on 6 of those types of awards. First up is the California Young Reader Medal, which encourages recreational reading of popular literature among the young people of California. The young people of California actually get to submit titles for this award. Criteria for this award are as follows. The book must be an original work of fiction, and it must be published within the last 4 years by a living author. There are 5 categories: primary, intermediate, middle school or junior high, young adult, and picture books for older readers, which would fall under 4th grade and up. The selection and composition of this committee to choose the winners and honors for this medal is an application, and the sponsors for this committee are the California Young Reader Medal Committee, California Reading Association, California Library Association, and the California School Library Association. There's also a promotional packet for the committee that they are responsible for, such as ballots, nomination forms, and nominee lists. This award was established in 1974, and each year students, teachers, and librarians send recommendations of their favorite books to the California Young Reader Medal Committee. Next, we have the Newbery Medal, which is the annual recognition to the author of the most distinguished contribution to American literature for children. The criteria for this award are that it must be authors who are citizens or residents of the United States. There are no limitations as to the character of the book considered, except that it has to be an original work, and the excellence of the presentation is judged for a child audience. There are 15 members on the committee. There is 1 chair, 6 members, which are appointed from the ALSC membership at large, and 8 members elected by the ALSC memberships, serving 2-year terms and led by the committee chair. This award was the first children's book award in the world and named for the 18th century British bookseller John Newbery. Frederick G. Melcher proposed this award on June 22, 1921, and his idea was approved by the American Library Association's Executive Board in 1922. Next, we have the Caldecott Medal, an annual recognition to the artist of the most distinguished American picture book. The criteria for this award is that it is restricted to artists who are citizens and residents of the United States, distinguished picture books for children, and they are judged on their excellence of presentation in recognition of a child audience, and it has to be a self-contained entity, not dependent on other media such as sound or music or any other type of media. The selection and composition of this committee is very similar to that of the Newbery Medal. It's 15 members, 1 chair, 6 members appointed from the ALSC membership at large, and 8 members elected by the ALSC membership, serving 2-year terms and led by the committee chair. After the success of the Newbery Award in 1937, Frederick G. Melcher again suggested this award as a second annual medal to that artist who had created the most distinguished picture book of the year to go along with the Newbery Medal. It was named in honor of the 19th century English illustrator Randolph J. Caldecott. In 1977, the Board of Directors of the Association for Library Service to Children rescinded the final part of the 1937 action and approved that, quote, any book published in the preceding year shall be eligible to be considered for either award or both awards. And in 1978, separate committees were chosen for the Newbery Award and the Caldecott Award. Next is the Tomas Rivera Mexican American Children's Book Award. This award is to honor authors and illustrators who create literature that depicts the Mexican-American experience. This award was established in 1995 and currently holds national and regional committees to judge and decide on the winners and honors for this award, authors and for illustrators and authors who create literature that depict that Mexican-American experience. Students, teachers, and librarians are able to submit suggestions for nomination every year and hope that their book that they submitted gets picked. Next is the Coretta Scott King Book Awards. This award annually honors outstanding African American authors and illustrators of books for children and young adults that demonstrate an appreciation of African American culture and universal human values. This award was established and founded in 1969 by Mabel McKissick and Glendon Greer at the American Library Association annual conference in Atlantic City, New Jersey. And in 1979, the Coretta Scott King Task Force was formed and became a part of the ALA's Social Responsibilities Roundtable. And in 1982, the Coretta Scott King Book Award became officially recognized as an ALA award. The selection and composition of the committees selecting these books are members of the American Library Association and members of EMIRIT, the Ethnical and Multicultural Informational Exchange Roundtable, as a part of the Library Association. And the criteria for this award is quite extensive. It must portray some aspect of the Black experience, whether it is past, present, or future. The book must be written and illustrated by an African American, must be published in the U.S. in the year preceding the presentation of the award, and it must be an original work. And these works must meet established standards of quality for writing for youth, which include a clear plot, well-drawn characters which portray growth and development during the course of the story, writing style which is consistent with the suitable age intended for, and the accuracy of the book written. It must also be written for a youth audience, and they have 3 categories for that. They can be preschool to grade 4, grades 5 through 8, and then grades 9 through 12. The title also seeks to motivate readers to develop their own attitudes and behaviors, as well as comprehend their personal duty and responsibility as citizens in a pluralistic society. Illustrations should, quote, heighten and extend the reader's awareness of the world around them. They should lead him or her to an appreciation of beauty. The style and content of the illustration should be neither coy nor condescending. Storytelling quality should enlarge upon the story elements that were hinted in the text and should include details that will awaken and strengthen the imagination of the reader and permit them to interpret the words and pictures in a manner unique to them. The final award I'll be going over today is the Jane Addams Children's Book Award. This is annual recognition of children's books of literary and aesthetic excellence that effectively engage children in thinking about peace, social justice, global community, and equity for all people. This award was established in 1953 as a project of the U.S. branch of Women's International League for Peace and Freedom, and that year a WILPF member, Martha Teal of Ithaca, New York, sent out an invitation to U.S. book publishers and authors of children's books to submit titles for consideration for the newly envisioned Jane Addams Children's Book Award. In the 1950s, it started out just awarding a single title each year, and in the 1970s, that expanded to honoring multiple titles. The selection committee and the composition of the committees are the board of directors of the Jane Addams Peace Association, which people can apply for and be approved of by the current board of directors. The criteria for this award for the books are for eligible books that should be suitable for children ages 5 through 14. It may be any length, genre, or format, and must be published in the United States or Canada within the year preceding the award year. It must also exemplify literary, visual, and aesthetic excellence. It invites dialogue, passionate response, purposeful reflection, and deep questioning related to one or more of the following questions. How can people work with compassion, empathy, and activism to advance Jane Addams' belief that achieving true peace means more than ending war? It means ensuring justice for all people. How can people of all racial identities, gender identities, religions, abilities, classes, and cultures live and work together equitably and peaceably? How can people, especially young people, break cycles of fear? How can they respond creatively, non-violently, and humanely to injustice and conflict? How can people work together to address problems and oppression caused by prejudice, war, violence, social injustice, racism, sexism, heteronormativity, ageism, classism, ableism, and all hierarchies of power and opportunity? How can people build and respect understanding of differences and the worth of and importance of all individuals and groups? And finally, how can people work for power and equality for women throughout the world?